Hello there, this is Benjamin Anderson from the Anderson System. And today I want to talk to you about how to communicate with a friend that has dissociative identity disorder. How to communicate with a friend that has dissociative identity disorder. Now, we have DID or dissociative identity disorder ourselves. And so we know that sometimes singlets don't understand what it feels like to have DID or what it feels like to actually to live with this disorder. And so sometimes some singlets don't actually know how to communicate to a system. And what I mean by singlet, a singlet is basically someone that has one consciousness, you could say. They have one persona that lives inside of their head, versus someone who's plural, who has plurality, that has DID, that basically has many different types of personas, you can say, that lives inside of their head. And so with us, we have roughly 30 plus alters that live inside of this body or this head. I am Benjamin Anderson, and I am one of the alters that lives inside of this body. I tend to do all types of jobs. I'm not just a gatekeeper or just a protector or just a caretaker. I do everything pretty much because I just tend to, I'm the jack of all trades in the system. And we have some alters that are like that, but I'm one of them that does that. But if you are a person who has a friend that has dissociative identity disorder, it may be hard at first to communicate with that person. Like, how do you approach a person that has DID? Like, what do you say to them? First of all, if you know someone with DID, the first thing you need to do is validate them. Validation is huge with someone with DID, because sometimes with someone with DID, sometimes they think they're making it up. Sometimes they think they're faking it because it's not a normal thing. It's not a normal thing to have many personalities that lives inside your head. That's not a normal thing. That is abnormal, you know? That's why it's a disorder. It's an abnormal thing to have many different consciousnesses that lives inside of one body. And so a person, when they first get discovered or first get diagnosed with having DID, it's tough for them. It's really hard. It's earth-shattering for them because it means their world's not stable, and it's hard for them. And so the first thing you do is first have compassion, have empathy, and also validate them. Say, you know what, your experience is valid. You know, your alters are valid, and validate the alters. That's one good key too, as well as validating each alter, because each alter has their own perks and their own desires, their own feelings, their own everything. They're individual people that live in one body. And so if you ignore those different parts of someone who has DID, then you're not really interested in them. You don't really care about them. And that's how they view it as. And in us, it has happened to us many times where we have people in our life that think we're one person. We think that we're Adam. And Adam is the name of our body. We were born with the name Adam, but we're not all Adam. Adam's just one small aspect of the body. And so Adam is just like, if we were a whole body, I guess Adam was like one cell. That's how you can see it as. And I'm Benjamin, I'm just another cell. I'm just another part of that body. And so, yeah. So if you know someone did, first of all, have compassion, validate them, talk to the alters. And don't try to ask them about why they got DID, because that's the worst thing you can do with someone who has dissociative identity disorder, is to say, well, how did you get it? That's fucked up. That is fucked up. If you ask them how they get it, because I'll tell you right now, people get DID because of trauma. But your friend who had trauma is not going to tell you, well, gee, this is what happened to me when I was younger. If they remember or not, they're not going to tell you that. So that's a wrong questioning to ask. So you don't want to be triggering either. You don't want to bring up things that are triggering to a system. And so again, if you're a singlet and you listen to this, and your friend tells you, you know, this confines with you, say, no, I guess what, I have dissociative identity disorder. Don't say, well, gee, how did you get it? That's the wrong thing. What you should do is validate them. Say, well, yeah, you know, that must be hard for you, and try to empathize with them. Try to say, no, what, your experience is real and valid, and I believe you, and we're gonna help you get through this. But don't ask them stupid ass questions like, how did you get it? Is it real? Are you faking it? What's going on? You know, if you ask all those invalidating questions and basically, you know, fake claim them, then they're not gonna come around to you. And you end up losing a friend or a family member because you fake claim them. And sometimes when people fake claim, they don't know they're doing it. Sometimes they don't know they're fake claiming. They don't know that, gee, I'm fake claiming someone. They don't know they're doing that. Sometimes it may come out as fear, because some people, when they find out that you have DID, they tend to fear you. They tend to have fear because DID is a very stigmatizing disorder. And so people fear it because they're like, oh shit, person has one or more personalities inside of their system, inside of their head, and it freaks them the fuck out. And so, yeah, and it can be very, very hard for a person who is suffering with it, because having DID is not fun. It's not like some of the TikTok videos you may see of people saying, guess what my personality did today? This personality loves ice cream. Everyone screamed for ice cream. It's not like that, you know? Like, you know, yes, yes, some personalities may like ice cream, some personalities may hate ice cream. That's not the point. The point is that it's not a fun disorder to have. It's not something that I said, this is a great entertainment. This is something I really want to do. There is no upside to it. It ain't like you get paid to have DID. I know if having DID gets you paid, then I'll be fucking rich. But it doesn't pay you to have DID. And so anyway, this is Benjamin, and that's just my rant for today, because, you know, I'm dealing with shit at home. And so, okay, just recap. If you know what someone, if you're a singlet again is someone that has one consciousness and not plural, living inside their head. And you know someone with DID, the first thing you need to do is validate them, say, know what, your experience is real, empathize with them, and don't ask them about their trauma. Don't say, well, what fucked you up to get many personalities in your head? Don't ask about trauma. Unless that person wants to bring it up. If that person wants to bring it up about the trauma, then that's cool. But other than that, don't ask about trauma. That's a no-no. And so anyway, this is Benjamin signing off. Thank you very much.